sitting down with me this evening.
No worries, it's an honour.
How are you doing today?
Pretty well, it's a pretty standard day at school, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing entirely abnormal.
That's good. So you ready to answer some questions?
Yeah.
Alright, now first, I understand you had a campaign for school captain. How did that go?
Well, given that I didn't actually apply for school captain, it went pretty abysmally. Well, the problem was that I didn't receive any votes because my name wasn't on the ballot.
So would you say the school's biased towards people who applied for the position?
Absolutely.
What do you have to say about that?
I think it's quite good, actually.
Why is that good? It's bias.
It is biased, but it's biased towards people who are interested in a position.
So would you say you were robbed of the position?
No.
Why not? You wanted the position, didn't you?
Well, no, because I don't have that much interest in sitting up the front of every assembly and...
Make some noise if you want Joey for school captain. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's quite clear that there's large popular support for me to take charge.
So since you failed the school captain campaign, what's next for Joseph Lukey's?
Revolution.
Revolution, what does that involve?
Well, we need to take violent physical control of the school, violent if necessary, assuming there's resistance.
Interesting. Are you interested in the position of Bromby House captain?
No, because my position as sacristan precludes me from that because I'd miss half the house periods.
So Joey, how would you describe your political alignment?
I would say that I'm an anarcho-communist. I believe that essentially the most interesting political texts are those of Bakunin, who argued that essentially you just have to ignore the state and it will go away on its own.
In English, please.
Basically, if you stop treating the government like they're the government, and everyone does it, what are they going to do? If everyone stops treating the government like the government, they're fucked. Oh, you can't put that in the documentary, can you?
It's final censor.
Great. Yeah, so you just have to ignore the government. Pretend they aren't there. It's the bogeyman approach. You just pull your blankets over your head and pretend the state isn't watching you.
Where does this revolution begin?
It begins...
Anytime now.
Exactly, it begins any time now. In about 5 minutes.
In about 5 minutes.
Yeah, this whole thing was a distraction actually, so I have an alibi because I'm on camera.
What's the ideal Joseph Lukey's Friday night?
The ideal Joseph Lukey's Friday night. I don't do that much on Friday nights, I'm a bit of a boring and sad person. So I don't really go out that much. Sometimes I have a shift, but the ideal Friday night, really it's just sitting at home watching Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, the best television show on the air. Well, not on the air anymore, but the best television show nonetheless.
Now, I understand you've got a bustling social media presence. How do you think that's affected you?
How do I think that's affected me? It's hard to say, being a public figure at this point in time. People sometimes approach me telling me that they love my Facebook or my Instagram or my Telegram. It's very jarring because I sort of think of those things, you know, they're things that are up on the ether. Early on, my work with social media humor was on Reddit and Tumblr, where really I don't know anyone that I'm interacting with except for a handful of people. So there really is a harsh distinction there between what I perceive, or between my previous experience and having a social media presence more closely integrated with my actual life.
How did you begin building a social media empire?
Well, it began when I opened Facebook. I opened a Facebook account about a bit over a year ago, and I posted, I'm feeling about 60 years old, realizing I have no idea how to use Facebook. And then I realized that if I just keep using Facebook wrong, people seem to like it. I recently started answering tells on Telenym, which you at home can send me tells. Do that, please. And it's good because it gives me an opportunity to express my opinions. People can ask me questions without having to go through the humiliation of actually telling me who they are.
Okay, what's the weirdest question you've received?
Someone once asked me how I get my lovely rosy cheeks, which was terrifying.
How do you get your lovely rosy cheeks?
Born with it.
Born with it? No makeup or anything?
No. Thank you very much.
And here's the part of the show where we give away a brand new car. Who wants a brand new car? Please, Ellen. Anyone with the last name Ross is not permitted to enter. This is a PG program, William. No, sorry, this is a Honda show. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans at home?
Anything I'd like to say to my fans at home? Howdy. That's the message.
That's the message?
Yeah, and I broke the fourth wall to say it, so that I'm saying it directly to the fans at home. So I did say it to the fans at home. Take that.
So, what do you plan to do once you leave school?
Well, I'd like to get a Bachelor of Arts, double major in Philosophy and Gender Studies, so that I have many career options, including broke political revolutionary, broke social revolutionary, starving artist. There's a number of ways you can go with that degree.
Interesting. Where do you plan to study that?
I'd like to study it at the University of Melbourne.
Okay.
However, there are numerous other places where such a degree can be obtained.
Okay.
Of course, if you've heard of such a degree, it's a relatively common thing. It has other names at other universities. In America, it tends to be called liberal arts degree. Are you even an interviewer?
Sorry?
Are you even an interviewer?
No. So, if you had to go for a degree that actually mattered, what would you go for? What would you go for?
Well, if I wanted to shoot myself, I would take a degree in commerce from Melbourne, because I honestly couldn't sit through that. I would actually murder myself in the process of taking a commerce degree. Probably a JD, Juris Doctor, right to practice law.
How's the rest of your career at Melbourne Grammar looking?
Joey, how do you feel about Freddie losing his virginity to the mid-court?
Okay, hang on.
To the what?
We're gonna come. Any plans to overthrow the headmaster?
That's classified.
Any plans to overthrow the school captains?
Definitely.
Would you like to share those with us?
No, because then they'll get back to the school captain.
Fair enough. Now, there's been some rumours going around that the current reported headmaster replacement is actually false, and it's a cover story for you. Would you like to confirm or deny that?
Well, no, I actually know the sister-in-law of the replacement. She rendered me unconscious once. Actually having a surgery done at the St. Vincent's Hospital. She was working as a nurse there. So yeah, I was like anesthetic.
Okay, so
what the fuck?
Do you believe we should annex Wadhurst?
Absolutely. In fact, once the revolution at Melbourne Grammar has been completed, we need to take two strategic targets. One of them is Wadhurst, so that we consolidate the block, and the other is Melbourne Girls.
Yeah! Alright. Do you believe you might be accused for domestic violence if you take over Melbourne Girls?
No, I have no intention of actually harming any students. Good. The staff, on the other hand, will be shot.
Now, I was reading New Idea the other day.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Are the rumours of you and Kim Kardashian true?
Categorically false.
Okay, now the big question on everyone's mind, I'm sure everyone here is thinking it. Yes. When are you dropping the rap album?
My rap album will be released in the summer of 2022. I'm taking an exceptionally long time to develop it because I want to make sure it's an absolute work of perfection.
No, that's like Christian rap.
No, it is not.
I heard you're going to be doing way too long Christian parody of Gold Digger.
I had no intention of doing that, but that is an interesting thing. I will take it under consideration.
And now we're going to take some questions from the audience, if you're okay with that, Joey?
Yeah.
Alright, does anyone have a question?
Yes. What do you say? What do you say about the rumours claiming that you have set up a small communist dictatorship in Nicaragua?
They're entirely wrong. It's in Cambodia.
Preferred choice of drug. Yeah, preferred choice of drug.
It's not ice. I am not a methamphetamine addict. I want to make that entirely.
So what addict are you?
What am I addicted to? Now that's the question. I am addicted to cocaine, alcohol, and pornography.
Come on, we all know you mainline heroin into your eyeball.
Are you afraid, Joey? Who do you fear?
Who do I
I fear bears.
Okay.
I fear bears because a bear could be here in an hour, and a bear might be here in an hour because it smells fear.
Okay. What kind of bear is best? Black bears.
Shut up.
Care Bears.
Oh, bold choice. Which Care Bear's your favourite?
I do not know the Care Bears.
Green bears eat
Po.
beets. Bears beets.
Battlestar Galactica. William?
Do you enjoy giving alcohol to underage kids?
No, we're not talking about.
He does it all the time though. I've never given alcohol to an underage. Yes, you have!
Oh!
Yes, I do it every week.
No, not every week.
Do you get enjoyment of it?
What's that?
Do you get enjoyment from it?
No. It's just my job. I'm just doing my. Yes, I get fulfillment. Spiritual fulfillment. I'm just doing my job.
Okay, that's all the time we have for. Would you please thank Joseph?